Hello friends, in this session we will learn crisis communication. What is crisis plan? A well-developed crisis control plan can assist an organization in its business continuity efforts and the recovery process. Crisis plan is designed to deal with any crisis situation including disaster that may occur at a company or a facility. The plan and procedure can counter any negative rumors or news stories which could impact upon business continuity and recovery. It also ensures the minimum of confusion. Crisis plan elements. First of all, we will discuss about staff. The primary person of a damage control plan is to leave the audience, such as readers, viewers, and listeners, with the assurance that the crisis situation is under control. The governing principle in any damage control plan is to identify only those persons within a company who can respond to the media question and concern who can serve in the capacity of the official company spokesperson. While these individuals, the primary spokesperson and a backup, do not necessarily require a media background, but both individuals must be able to think and respond fast in a high pressure situation regardless of the nature of those situations. Media. The media, both print and broadcast, can carry a pivot role in the business continuity and recovery. As a part of the company's regular business operation, many entities have established relationships with their local media and work hard to cultivate those relationships. When disaster strikes, the media will cover the story, questions will be asked, statements and interview will be requested. For this reason, companies through their appointment spokesperson must know what to do, how to do it, and what to say to the media. Contact chart. Contact chart identifies key department managers and representatives. This chart should include contact person phone number of a key person. The contact chart should also include the names and the phone numbers of a key customers and client, distributors, suppliers, etc. Rules for crisis communication. There are 3 simple rules to effective crisis communication which, if followed, should yield the best result possible. That means that if a company made a serious mistake, these 3 rules would not change that, but they will help to overcome some of the damages. The first rule is always tell the truth. Lying almost always come back to bite you, and in the case of crisis communication, if your company made a massive or a minor error that led to the event, the truth will always come out. The truth, as difficult as it may be, is always the best option when dealing with the crisis of any kind. Second rule is appoint a single spokesperson. The single spokesperson should be someone well trained in a media relation and in a crisis communication. The person provides a single point of contact and messages to all the communication channels. Although you may have a multiple communication team working internally to address various needs such as employee or a customer communication, you should have one and only one official corporate spokesperson during a crisis. And third rule is provide formatted information. Your crisis communication plan and a training should include language that can be used to help the crisis by providing factual data. Also, before providing specific data, ensure that it is legal, ethical, and appropriate. Providing templates with the guidelines for the crisis communication along with the training and practice can help ensure crisis communication that meets everyone's needs. Emergency services. In this, we will discuss about emergency process, which determine the nature and extent of the emergency, identify whether anyone has been killed or injured. If injured has been occurred, report to the emergency or a dispatch emergency medical personnel. Determine if any danger still exists. If so, take appropriate precaution or measures to prevent the further death, injury, or damage. Notify crisis management team about that. Dispatch appropriate trained medical personnel to assist and manage the situation. Notify civil authorities regardless of the nature and extent of the emergency. And finally, notify corporate executives. Shelter in place process. Install, identify and test alarms and emergency signals. Identify parameters that would trigger buildings. Identify parameters that would trigger shelter in place procedures. identify shelter leaders, identify safe routes and assembly points, identify building search and rescue procedures, identify procedure for securing and shutting down the facility, and finally identify shelter in place procedure and internal assembly points. Thirdly, emergency checklist for highest risk threats, which includes fire, floods, earthquake, and hazard material. Emergency contact list and maps. External emergency contact numbers such as police, fire, hospital, and ambulance. Emergency response team contact numbers such as medical staff, rescue staff, crisis team manager. And finally, maps such as floor maps, location of fire doors, location of gas, electric, and water lines. Emergency supplies and equipments such as first aid supplies, training and equipments, fire safety equipments, hazard materials, safety equipments, water, food, clothing, and blankets, and finally emergency communication equipment such as walkie-talkie. Recovery checklist general. First of all, perform a quick assessment to determine which members of the business continuity disaster recovery teams are available to assist with recovery activities. Identify any travel needs for business continuity disaster recovery team members. If some are coming from other site or location, be sure to consider a need for the local transportation and logging as well as. Identify who will be working at your original site and who will be working at an alternate site. Identify the resources required including computer equipments, communication links such as internet, communication equipment such as walkie-talkie, cellular phone, and landlines. Notify and activate alternate work site and crisis communication command center. Prepare process for receiving and tracking of equipments and supplies. Prepare process for receiving and tracking data backups and critical records. Finalize preparation for restoring site or activating alternate site. And finally, document the results in the event log to communicate with the appropriate parties. Recovery checklist, inspection and assessment. In this, provide damage assessment team with the inventory or a list of critical resources at a damaged site. Ensure all the team members have properly safety equipments and have been trained in a proper use. Identify who will be working at original site and an alternate site. Provide team members with the forms or processes for assessing and reporting damages. Inspect vital record for damages. Determine any timeline that may be relevant to salvage operation and to prevent further damages. Record assessment in the event log. Remove hazard materials such as chemicals. And finally, document the output in an event log to communicate with the appropriate parties. In this session, we learned about crisis plan, which is a well-developed crisis control plan which can assist an organization in its business continuity efforts and the recovery process. Crisis plan is designed to deal with any crisis situation, including disaster that may occur at a company or a facility. We also learned about crisis plan elements such as staff, media, and contact chart. We also learned about rules for crisis communication such as always tell the truth, appoint a single spokesperson, and finally provide formatted information. We also learned about emergency services such as emergency process, shelter in place process, emergency checklist for the highest risk threats, emergency contact list and maps, and finally emergency suppliers and equipments. We also learned about recovery checklist such as journal and inspection and assessment. Thanks.